Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Seekers A to Z, where we are looking at all of the Lightseeker heroes from Anzi all the way through, well, starting with Anzi, because today we are looking at... Hello? Hey, yeah, I'm recording the episode right now. What do you mean low quality? What? No, we don't need to add an intro to this video. I don't care if it looks more professional. We're not adding an intro. There will never be an intro on this. Thanks once again for joining us here at Seekers A to Z. Today our hero is helping us live out our dreams of evil conquest. This is the Evil Genius Starter Kit with Anzi the Mender. Your target for this hero takes 1 damage whenever you play a mechanical buff which cannot be increased by effects. While he may only start out at 28 health, Anzi offers us quite a bit of blowy uppy action which speaks to that evil genius, the mastermind that we all wish we were. So let's look at a breakdown of the list. We have Spirit Tap, Nuke, Contra Bubble, Time Flicker, Empowered Implant for our 5 buffs. Then for our action cards we have Demolition Bot ×2. We have 2 Colossi Cannons, 2 Tyrex Historians, 2 Wardens of Times, and 2 Chrono Anglers, 2 Regen Chambers, 2 Warp Toads, 2 Gear Crank Catapults, 3 Tinkerbots, 2 Crumbling Towers, 1 Tantosian Blacksmith, a couple Grim Gliders, 3 Mimicking Horrors, and for our buff removal, Shadow Puppet ×3. Looking closer at our combination cards, what we see is that Spirit Tap, Time Flicker, and Contra Bubbles are all cards that are helping us get the job done. They're all, especially in the case of Spirit Tap, helping us to pay for our combos cheaply, or getting us additional cards so that we can quickly get together the cards that we need so we can start blowing the enemy to pieces. And that's really the end goal here. And we see that especially with our other 2 buffs, or 2 combos. They're both combo buffs, and we have Nuke and Empowered Implant. Between the 2 of them, we have 32 damage represented just in these 2 cards. So if anything cries, super villain, blow it all up, ruin everybody's day, it is these 2 combo buffs. A lot of fun to play. Take a little time, especially in the case of Nuke, but if they get there, they're a lot of fun to play. There are a couple ways that we make this happen. Because this deck does not rely on much healing, because we started out at 28 health, we need to be moving very quickly to be getting things out on the board to push our opponent onto the back foot. So we're using Chrono Angler and Tyrex Historian to do this. Keep in mind that if you Chrono Angler first, what you're looking at is that you can't then pull a Tyrex Historian and play that, because remember, the keyword play here is what's important. These are both time elements, and Anzi doesn't have superior element time, so be cautious whenever you're playing that. Watch for your time elements, and occasionally Chrono Angler will fail you. I've had it happen a few times in the play testing of this deck, where you just flip it up and you say, oh good, I've got 2 combos right here and I can't play those, and another Tyrex Historian, and then maybe I have a card that I can't play. There's just these things happen. That's okay. We brush it off, we get back to our evil scheming, and we keep moving along. What we're essentially trying to do is go with our blowy uppy cards. We're looking at Crumbling Tower, Colossi Cannon, and Gear Crank Catapult. Now both Crumbling Tower and Colossi Cannon are known to do damage to us in order to do big damage to our opponent. But we're utilizing that a little bit with our Contra Bubble and with some other options that we have. Gear Crank usually will get cranking around because this is a mechanical heavy list. So we have a lot of things like Crumbling Towers and Gear Crank Catapults and the Tinkerbots and other sorts of combo or buff cards that are mechanical to get our Gear Crank Catapult in action. So once these things fire off their damage, they do moderate to high damage for what each of them does. However, the problem being, it's not enough damage, right? That's where we have our evil scheming. We look through and we pull up our mimicking horror to be able to trigger the effects twice. Or we pull our Tinkerbot and we pop that card right back to our hand. And if we don't have those available, well, then we use Warp Toad. And if all else fails, we break it all down with the Demolition Bot. This gives us a lot of options to make full use out of our blowy uppy cards and really get some mileage out of them. Our opponent can use buff removal at any time. It's just part of it. That's why we run the we run other cards to try and help with that. Right? We have Warden of Time in there, and to try and create that cycle of Warden of Times where we have one in our discard, and then when they remove our buffs, it kicks off Warden of Time, and we get a Warden of Time and something else back, usually Colossi Cannon or a Crumbling Tower is usually the two that I see get kicked off pretty early. But all the time, our opponent has to be choosing what they're going to use when buff removal is going to kick into play. Really pushes our opponent kind of playing catch up. If we can get our hand sculpted correctly early in the game, we can really, really make some big damage, some big problems for our opponent. So let's take a look at the cost breakdown for this deck, for the Evil Genius Starter Kit. As you can see right here, these are the prices as of the recording of this video. These are all subject to change as you know, fluctuation happens with any sort of TCG, but here's the price breakdown, and what it ends up coming out to is about $128.50. This is a big cost for big damage, but what you're getting in this list is quite a bit of staple cards. There's just a lot of heavy hitters in that. You know, when we think of the Grim Glider alone is a great card, just continually pinging away whenever you've got all your buffs out, all the way up to things like Nuke. Well, it's only a $4 card, or Spirit Tap. You know, they're both fantastic cards. And of course, Tantosian Blacksmiths, we all know that you really can't have too many Tantosian Blacksmiths lying around. They're just great cards. They go into so many different decks. So what you get in this deck is quite a few, but it's a great start. There you have it, guys. There is our Evil Genius Starter Kit deck. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you liked it, make sure you hit the like button down below. If you like the content that's coming out here on Seekers A to Z, make sure that you subscribe, share it with a friend, but those are a couple ways that you can help support the channel and the work that's happening over here. If you have a cool idea about Anzi, make sure you leave that comment down below, and until next time, keep building, and we'll see you on our next video.